Hey everybody, welcome to Nightmares Anyone. It's me, Richard. So, now that the Exorcist Believer has been out for almost a week, I'm finally not going to hold back. I finally get to review this. So, if you haven't seen the movie, if you're a huge Exorcist fan, you still want to see the movie, you might not want to watch this video. Come back after the intro. Hey everybody. Yeah, there's something outside. Oh my god, no. What in the hell is that? Would you guys like to be scared? Welcome to Nightmares, anyone. Let's get scared. Hey everybody, it's me, Richard, with Nightmares Anyone. So yeah, I've been holding off to do this review. Now I can do it. So, to all of you out there that have loved The Exorcist for 50 years like I have, in fact, yes, I remember seeing it when it first came out in 1973, and I saw it at the theaters being like 12 years old. Yeah. Where do I start with this movie? Oh my god. So, yes, we've all been waiting for this movie. Now, we know that it's been directed by David Gordon Green, who also did the 3 Halloween, whatever they're calling them, legacy, sequel, trilogy. I didn't like any of them. I thought they were just ridiculously stupid. Now David Gordon Green takes on a classic like The Exorcist. Oh my god. This movie was so bad at being bad that it was just a piece of shit waste celluloid. Now, this is my opinion only. You don't have to agree with me, but we all know, if you have followed the box office numbers, the movie was a critically bombed flop. It made less than $28 million opening weekend. It cost $30 million to make, and yeah. Rumor is that he paid Ellen Burstyn almost almost $2 million to be in this movie for what, 9 minutes of film time, screen time, and hard telling what he paid Linda Blair for her last little cameo in the very last scene of the movie. Yeah, I told you, you might not want to watch this video if you haven't seen the movie yet. Leslie Odom Jr. plays the father of an expectant baby. He's married to a beautiful woman. They're on vacation in Haiti, Port-au-Prince, and she is like 10 months pregnant. She's about ready to pop. He's taking pictures along the beach of all these, locals and market people. Well, this little boy comes up to his wife and says, "Oh, I wanted to show you something. I want to give you a blessing for your baby." This wife is so dumb. She goes with this little boy up into this market in this weird looking building, and she lets them do this, what she thinks is a blessing for her baby. You can tell it's a Haitian voodoo. It's so cheesily done. All of a sudden, she gets done with this blessing and there's a horrible earthquake. Yeah, she's trapped in the rubble and everything else. The doctors tell him, "We can't save them both. We have to save either your wife or the baby." Well, come on. We've seen the trailers. We know the daughter is in the movie. He picks the unborn baby over his wife. Oh, Lord. 13 years later, we go to Percy, Georgia, and there's the 2 girls. Catherine, who is the white daughter of the very religious and evidently kind of racist family, and she is in the same classroom as Angela, who is Leslie Odom Jr.'s daughter. Now, this movie only cost not even $30 million to make, and boy oh boy, you can tell that this movie, where do you draw the line between plagiarism and just theft? This movie is such a ripoff, a wannabe ripoff of such a classic horror movie that it's just a joke. The first 25 minutes of the film are so boring that Bruce immediately fell asleep, and he not only fell asleep once, but he fell asleep 3 times. It's just almost scene for scene shot of the original Exorcist. I mean, we all remember the scene where Chris McNeil chases Regan around the house in the original, you know, trying to get the thing from her daughter. Leslie Odom Jr. does the same thing to his daughter one morning while he's making breakfast. And it's just, oh my God. There's a crucifix scene in this movie, but it's not into the vagina, you know, breaking the hymen, as it was in Regan McNeil's case in the first movie. But there's also vaginal blood in this one. But yeah, there's a crucifix scene in here, and it's so ridiculously stupid. It's so ridiculously stupid. There's even a head spinning scene in here of not one character, but 2 or 3 characters, and they don't turn their head around, you know, they get their head slowly broken and cracked and then spun around. It's so bad. The special effects makeup is so terribly done. The voice-over dubbing of the demons of the 2 little girls is so poorly edited. The mouths don't even go with the words. It looks like a poorly Italian dubbed horror movie from the 70s or 80s. My God, even Lucio Fulci and Dario Argento movies were done better than this was. And speaking of the special effects makeup, there's a couple of the scenes where we see the girls doing their demonic faces. You can actually see the plastic, what do you want to call them? Halloween Spirit Superstore, the scary teeth, you know. You can tell they're wearing plastic overlays. You can actually see the actress's teeth above the line of the things. There's a scene where, oh my God, and this was hysterical. There's a scene where miraculously both of these families are able to bring both of their girls home in their full glory of demonic possession from the psychiatric wards of the hospital, and the hospital just allows them to take the girls home to this, you know, the house of Leslie Odom Jr. to do this exorcism. Now, in this movie, you don't have to be a licensed priest to do an exorcism. This one involves the next door neighbor lady who's a nurse at the hospital. She's this nosy woman who, her backstory is stupid. And then, of course, Chris McNeil, you know, Regan's mother from the first one, she, after she survived Regan's possession and from the original Exorcist, she decided to write a book about the whole experience, which causes her daughter Regan to hate her, move away, and they just don't talk for years because the book was a huge success. Regan didn't like it, and you don't even know if Regan's alive or anything because Chris McNeil says these stupid lines from the movie. And speaking of Chris McNeil, as soon as Ellen Burstyn comes on screen, the movie got even worse. Now, I do have to admit, the first 20-25 minutes of the movie would have been really, really good if he would have just kept it as a police procedural thriller. But once it became a so-called demonic possession movie, it was just awful. The script and the lines are so dumb. I mean, it is just, like I said, a blatant plagiarized ripoff of the original classic. And David Gordon Green is not that good of a director, in my opinion. I don't like anything he's ever done. And then the whole thing with Chris McNeil. Oh my God. So I know a lot of you have watched the TV series that was on Fox called The Exorcist. It was great. I loved it. It was way better of a sequel than this should have been called. Do any of you remember Amityville 3D from the 80s? That was a better sequel to the Amityville Horror than this movie was to The Exorcist. The only thing this movie tied into and had any connection with was the fact that Chris McNeil's in it, and then Reagan's in it for the last 20 seconds of the film, and it's so dumb. You know, this, what I'm about to say here, has been written in so many articles on the internet, and they've exposed so much of this movie. I'm not even going to expose that much in this review, but the crucifix scene is one of the possessed girls, takes the crucifix out of her room, and she attacks Chris McNeil and stabs her in the eye and Chris McNeil's screaming and doing all this, and she's doing the exorcism and saying, I cast you out and blah blah blah. It's just, so then she gets attacked, and then she's doing this, she's doing this horrible acting where she gets put in the hospital. They bandage her up, and oh my God, it was just so pathetically dumb. But the very end of the movie, well, before I even say this part, so the beginning of the movie where I was talking, and sorry I got sidetracked here, but this is such a train wreck of a movie that, but when the girls, Angela talks her father into letting her come home with Catherine after studying after school, and he agrees, and they go into the woods, and Catherine pulls out, she tells her how she can talk to her mother, she can teach her how to talk to her mom and stuff. So they just happenstancingly, come upon these brick stairs that go down underneath the woods, and it even looks like it has a propped up door, like, oh, come into me, come down here. So they go down there, they do this stupid ritual with a candle, and good girl Christian Catherine, she does all this. Well, they don't come home by dinner time, so it's now like 7:00, and Leslie Odom Jr.'s character Victor decides, oh, I better find out, where she is. Well, they go to the police department, and Catherine's mom and dad are there, and Victor's there, and Catherine's mom makes this comment, who are you? We don't even know who you are. And he's like, I'm the daughter of Angela. She was with Catherine. And she's like, oh, well, if we would have known, who your daughter was, this wouldn't be happening. So that just even comes across as, they're evidently like white trash religious fanatics, who didn't even know their daughter had a black little girlfriend at school. So that whole scene was dumb. But yeah, so they appear in this farmer, like a farmhouse, a barn, and the son finds them, and they're huddled in the corner, and they've supposedly been gone for 3 days, which David Gordon Green writes it into, relating it to being, when Christ, before he was rolled back the stone and came out of the cave, after he'd been gone for 3 days, he tries to tie this into this whole religious Catholic ceremony thing that was just so dumb. But yeah, so the last scene, yes, one of the daughters dies and one survives, and so then the camera pans into, Chris McNeil's hospital room, and she's still sitting, in the chair. And during the so-called non-scary exorcist scene, exorcism scenes, Chris McNeil's having a visual, or she's having this miraculous, vision of, and it's just so dumb. So she's sitting there, and she hears her bedroom door, or she hears her hospital room door open, and she's like, Victor, is that you? And then you see somebody walk around the end of the bed, and you see the hand grab Chris McNeil's hand, and then the camera pans up, and it's 67-year-old Linda Blair looking 90, and she's like, no, Mama, it's me. And the movie was over. It was so dumb. It was so stupid. And back to the special effects, there was this scene where they're starting to do the exorcism scene, and this lady, this is another thing. So how I was saying the scenes are almost parallel to the original movie. We all know the scene at the beginning of the original Exorcist where Jason Miller, Father Karras, is at the gym and, he's boxing. David Gordon Green even copies that scene in here. So his boxing coach, Leslie Odom Jr.'s boxing coach, decides, oh, well, my friend Victor's daughter's missing, so I'm just going to bring this whole group of Haitian miracle workers or voodoo priestesses, into his house while he's, not even home from work yet. And Victor comes home to walking into his house being already open, the front door left open, and all these people in here doing this ritual where they're praying for Angela and Catherine's safe return. And, it's just like, okay. So, it was so stupid. So, yeah, I can't even give this movie a 1.5 star. If it would have been just a police procedural thriller, I could have maybe given it a 3. But once you hear Tubular Bells, that iconic theme song from the original movie, you just know the movie's going to take a shit dive into the toilet. And when 90-year-old Ellen Burstyn comes on, it's like, wow, this movie is really bad. But yeah, so I would love to hear what you guys thought of the movie. Just be kind. I don't want to hear bullies. If you like the movie, that it's great. I want to hear that. If you hated the movie, I want to hear that too. Just don't attack me for my review. I warned you at the beginning. If you hadn't seen the movie and you wanted to, do not watch the review. So, hey, you guys, I'm Richard with Nightmares Anyone. There's Lenny right there, and Lily. I don't know where Lily went. She was here, but I think she's over there now on the bookshelf. But hey, you guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and I will see you. Hey, you guys, like always, it's me, Richard, with Nightmares Anyone. Don't forget to pick up a good scary book. Have great nightmares. Yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense, have a great nightmare, but have a good nightmare. Being scared is good for you. Cleanse the old pumper. Be kind to people, be nice, enjoy your horror, stay scared. And you guys, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, you guys. He's creepy. He's very creepy. Yeah, he's creepy. I did a huge diamond painting of Sam. Maybe I'll give it away one day on this channel. Take care, you guys. See ya.